for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, thank you for giving us a try. Anybody who's on here, please hit the subscribe and the little bell that lets you know when I upload another video. I am not one of those Flosstubers that has any kind of schedule. A schedule would make me crazy and then might make you crazy. So that way, if you click the bell, it just lets you know when I upload one. I have been YouTubing for a long time. I have a quilt roadie channel that has been a lot about my journey quilting, and then I started the Stitch Roadie channel, and it's been a couple of years now, I think. I don't think it's much longer than that, but what I do know is it's my anniversary, my Stitch Roadie anniversary. And so at the end of this video, I will let you know about the giveaway to celebrate the Stitch Roadie anniversary, and also the winners of the giveaway from the last video. I had a lot of giveaways there, and so instead of like announcing different names and then people having to figure it out, at the end of this video, I'm going to have G put a sheet up of the winners and what they won. And then in the description drop-down box will be my email. So please email me with your mailing address. And just so you know, I am not the most, I really need an administrative assistant because I am not the quickest at answering emails. I am not like Johnny on the spot with Instagram and Facebook. It's kind of like when I happen to have a moment where that's what I feel like doing, so I don't always get back to people right away. I know it's kind of like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But know that my heart is with you. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope stitching has been going well. Today, we're not only having the announcement of the last winners, but we have our anniversary announcement for a giveaway. Whip Parade. I decided to do that because I saw other people doing it, and it was kind of like I was thinking when I reorganized my stitching, it kind of reinvigorated me. And I thought maybe if I did a whip parade, I would be like all over it. I also had some ponderings about different things. One of the ponderings I had is about subscribers. Now, I love all my subscribers. I love all the comments. I enjoy when subscribers are talking to each other, but really I totally get that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. So if you choose to unsubscribe, feel free not to let me know why. I'm not sure why people feel they have to tell you why they don't like you. I don't know about that. But feel free to come and go as you will. I am happy for the company. I am happy for all the love. I did, and you do not have to, I know that you know this, you do not have to send me stuff. I love everything that I get. It just warms my heart. I save all the cards to read later. I read them when I get them, but I also save them, like I have cards from like 3 and 4 years ago, because sometimes you have a moment in life where you're maybe not totally centered about everything, and sometimes I'll flip through those cards and then I'll think, wow, the world is filled with wonderfully kind people, and that's what I want you to take away from this. I did receive, which I'm very excited about, from Linda in New Jersey, one of the Prairie Schooler Revisited. And I'm very excited about this one because it has 1984. I have a whole list of the ones that I don't have. And I knew that I didn't have the very first one because that was, the very first one was in 1984. So thank you so much Linda. I'm tickled about that. I did have a finish, and it was a Prairie Schooler Santa. It was my polar bear. Yes. And this Prairie Schooler Santa is an ongoing project for me. So this was the 2017 Prairie Schooler Santa. And my girlfriend Robyn wanted to borrow it, so I felt like I should get that done as quickly as possible. And the way I'm doing the Prairie Schooler Santas are that when I finish one, I get to start one. And it's just going to be an ongoing project. So the two ongoing projects that I have, I don't really count them as whips because there's some, I don't know, in my mind it's just entirely different. So when I finish one, I start one. And the one I'm going to start is a 1997 one. This is my next one. And the reason I want to do this one is, you know that my plan is to have a trench bowl on my fireplace hearth with all the as many Prairie Schooler Santas as I get done. And this one was the ABC Santa, and it has, in the little kids block, it has A and Z, like the alphabet, but I'm changing the Z to G, A and G, so that's going to be our Santa. And I keep it in my Oh So Kelly Bitsy Bob. I think that's what this is called, my Harry Potter Bitsy Bob. And that just is, yeah, it's just an ongoing project. So I'll be starting that one here in the next day. So what has been going on? Okay, first of all, we had a nice walk up the mountain. It has been yesterday and today. We walked up the mountain. It has been too smoky, and I have asthma. You can hear my gravelly, sexy voice. That's a sexy Stitcher voice. But it's been too smoky for me to climb up the mountain. But the last couple days there's been a breeze in and it has blown it a little bit south of us, which has made it nice. So we hiked up the mountain, which was lovely to just kind of get the blood pumping. This week I also had my middle grandson stay overnight for the first time. He's never stayed overnight. He comes here regularly, but doesn't sleep overnight here, and that was a piece of cake. He is, I really lucked out in the grandson pool. You know, I've had two of them sleep over there, no problem at all. They go right to sleep. They wake up and tell you when they're awake, and it's just been such a joy to have that experience. And really that's why we moved, is to occasionally be able to have a more personal relationship with our grandchildren. We're lucky that we could move, because I know there's many grandparents that are far away from their grandchildren, and that's how it has to be. But we lucked out. We definitely lucked out. So I had that going on this week. I was working on the Fat Quarter Shop booze and bats sell. I love saying that because I think booze and bats sell. And that's a free pattern on the Fat Quarter Shop. And so I feel a commitment to, when I agree to do something, I feel a commitment to stay on top of that. So I have been stitching away on that, keeping on schedule, and I only agreed to do the ones that I absolutely think are adorable and I want for myself. And that bats and booze, or booze and bats, say that 5 times real fast, is a free pattern, you know, free pattern. The only change I did was in the fabric. I changed from the linen that I had ordered 2 an Ada because I wanted the white to show up more. I just wanted it to have a little bit more presence because of its beautiful lacy kind of stitching. So the Prairie Schooler Santa and the Boos and Bats are the only kind of ongoing things. Other than that, it's kind of a free-for-all around here. If this is your first time, just know it's kind of a free-for-all, and I am so influenced by everything I see or hear outside of myself, which means I really have to pay attention to my floss tube watching because it's literally going to affect what I'm doing. I was watching the 911 Stitcher, and I can't honestly even tell you which chart or pattern she was talking about, but I know I ordered it. I know I ordered it. I don't even know what it was. See, that's the thing, is you have to know that there's just, floss tube is like shopping with friends, just shopping with friends, you know, and I enable, my superpower is enabling, but just so you know, I can be enabled with the best of them. And watching Scott Stitches in Spain, who's in Germany now, I love watching him because he's like a relative. I could swear he's a cousin or a brother or something. Just watching him, how he does his floss tube, he's as scattered as I am, and so I feel in good company. But he gets a lot of nice stitching done, and so I'm encouraged by that. You know, I am a family generationally of ADHD people, and boy, Scott and I could be related. Scott and I could be related, most definitely. But I have been spending some time watching floss tubes, and you know, I'm not real good, like I said, about emails, and I do eventually catch up, but Instagram and Facebook too, I love seeing everything, but it's not something that I have plugged into myself. It's like when I am relaxing at the end of the day, anytime I have to sit in a waiting area, you know, or when I'm having coffee in the morning, you know, I'll plug into that. And there's that whole trend right now on Instagram where a different question is posed to different cross stitchers and floss tubers, and then they answer it. And I've been enjoying reading those. You get to learn some new stuff. And so I was watching one on Instagram, Lady Robyn S, who's I consider a friend of mine up in Washington, who I met through floss tube and cross stitching. One of the questions like this last week was favorite books, or what have you been reading, and she talked about Frederick Bachman, and the book is called Us Against Them. Is it Us Against? Let me see. I just want to make sure. Us Against You, not them. Us Against You. He creates characters that are so rich and multidimensional in an entirely yummy way. And so when she said that was one of her favorite books, I was like in. I immediately got it, and I'm enjoying the read. You know, she is a librarian, and so I kind of pay attention to what she's reading. I've not been steered wrong by her reading or her cross-stitching, for that matter. So that's currently the book that I'm reading. I am pondering a new start, but I fell down this thought rabbit hole. In the last year, things have been so polarized, and I started pondering about that. Like, what is it with monogamous stitchers? What do they know that I don't know? And I thought, I think the best way, rather than say I am not going to really hang out and stitch with monogamous stitchers, just make a blanket statement like that, I thought, I need to figure out what is it about it that they like, or why haven't I fallen down that thought process. There's something to learn with opening your mind, and there's something to learn about accepting what someone else chooses for their own life. So I became a monogamous stitcher for 4 days. I know. Is that crazy? I mean, that's so not me. That is so not me. But I decided I really need to not just be standing on my little soapbox, but I need to open up my mind and figure out what the heck they're talking about, And so I chose a project that I had as a whip, and in the evening, I only stitched on that project. Now, I wasn't 100% monogamous, because in the morning I had the Prairie Schooler Santa with coffee, and then I had the commitment to the Fat Quarter Shop Booze and Bats Sal that I would spend a half an hour stitching on. But my evening stitching, afternoon and evening stitching, was with one project. I've never done that. I have never done that I can remember anyway. So what the heck is that about? Well, just to start off the whip parade, the project I chose was Pandemic by Long Dog Stitcher, and it was it was a free download at the very beginning of 2021. No, 2020. 2020. 23 pages. It was 23 pages long. And no, I have not found the floss I ordered for it. But I barely got it started when I stopped, and moved on to something else, because I'm not a monogamous stitcher. But when I Googled monogamous stitcher, naturally what Google brought up was monogamy versus polygamy. But I also found out about non-monogamous. There's monogamous, non-monogamous, polygamous. And then there were articles further down about monogamous stitchers. So you'll have to just Google that whole thing for yourself. So a monogamous stitcher generally picks a project and stitches on that project to completion. What's so great about that? One, you get it done. Two, you don't have all this conversation going on in your head about a project you haven't touched. You don't have all that conversation going on about guilt. You don't have all that goes on with running around like a crazy cross stitcher, like me. Now, when I stopped, the last time I touched the Pandemic, I was on page 1, and I'm still on page 1. But I had done the outside edge and the bird. So for the last 4 days, I have been monogamously stitching in the evening. And so I have gotten that much done. light bulb moment. I get it. I get it. There's a real satisfaction in monogamy. Now, granted, I'm not sure they're having as much fun. Maybe. How do I know? The fun is all in the eyes of the funny person. Does that make sense? But I finally understood a little bit about monogamous stitching. And I thought, I kind of get that, and I kind of enjoy it. But can I give it 100% and give up all of my other stuff? No. You really have to stitch to your own personality. But I can do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, because when you look at the definitions on Google about monogamy, non-monogamy, and polygamy, I could probably embrace the non-monogamy category, which means that you're kind of monogamous, but with more than one. Oh, I know you guys are all running to Google right now. What the heck is she talking about? What the heck is she talking about? Well, there is whip number 1. I have 17 whips. 17 whips. That's like, I think that's okay. I feel okay about it. I know there's people that have a whole lot more whips than that, but at the same time, it's a variety, and it is a full variety. And I'm kind of at the point now where I'm kind of embracing a little bit of that monogamy. But as I finish a whip, I'm going to start a whip. I don't think I'll ever get over 20 whips, but you never know. But I feel comfortable with that number. And there are several here that are smalls, or that are, you can almost spitting distance to being done. Yeah. So how do I store my whips? I store them in this. This is like an old toolbox. And my whips are in their own project bags, and then I store the project bags all standing up in this toolbox, and then it sits over under the window there. And that way I can see the colorful project bags, and I kind of know which project bag has which whip in it. So there you go. Well, the whip that is not stored in that tool box is my latest start, and that is my ode to my friend Enzo, and it's an ink circle dog's declaration. And I'm really I know I'm going to enjoy this process. The fabric is kind of strange to me, and no, I won't be telling you what fabric I used or what threads. You can stop this video anytime you want to hear information about the particular project, because that's like, I don't even know half the fabrics that I use. If I have the tags still on it, I'll tell you on the video, but I'm not going to list them. I did get this chart from the attic in Mesa, Arizona, Dog's Declaration, but I got the threads from Acorns and Thread, because Acorns and Thread had the called for fabrics, called for threads, which were Valdani's, and I did not have Valdani floss. I have a lot of Valdani for my wool work, but they had it all kitted up already, and I'm all about the kit, you know. So I started that, and the reason it's not in the tool box is because it's on my Elan frame, and so I'm keeping it on there, stored in the cabinet. And I just started on that. I started on that outside border, and I don't see the fabric tag, so I don't know the fabric. But it's Ink Circle's Dog Declaration. Land That I Love. I've got the whole outside braid done and the alphabet. And I really love this one. I feel like, let's see here. Yeah, I really like this fabric. I don't know what it is, but I really like it. Sorry. My next one is Frosty Forest by Country Cottage Needleworks, and it is on Colorscapes Lugana 28 count Haven. And I have 3 of the squares done. And I was already making the outline of the 4th square in preparation for whenever I touched it next, and I'm off by 1 stitch, so I have to figure that one out. Yeah. Before we can proceed on, we have to figure out how I got off by 1 stitch. This is Tumbleweed by a division of Little House Needleworks, and it's kind of wrinkly. And this one's not too far out. Not too far out. This one could be a 1-week finish whenever I give it that love. Oh, it goes. There isn't a whip in here that I went, ugh. Oh, I don't know if I want to get that one done. All of them are fabulous. Owl Forestry, I keep saying forestry, Owl Forest, Emerald City, and Owl Forest Embroidery. And this was a free download. The Wizard of Oz. And this was long enough ago that I actually masking taped the edge of it. And I love the color of this fabric, and it was from Stitchville, USA, and it's Joblin 28 count watercress. Very, very pretty. Very pretty. I'm currently working on Jack, and once I get all 3 done, I already have a frame for all 3. And so Jack is, I'm working on his sweater. But then I'm on to his friend, which is Harry. No, not Harry, Henry. So I have Harry done. And that's the thing, these smalls, you think when they're small that they're not going to take a long time. A lot of the smalls have lots of stitching to them. I started the Erica Michaels, 12 Days at Christmas berries. And the first one was the Partridge in a Pear Tree. And this one I'm doing on a Q-snap because this fabric was, I don't know what kind of fabric this is, but it's kind of hard to see and stitch on when, so it's better when it's held in a frame or a hoop or Q-snap. And I currently am not feeling quite the love yet for it, but I know once I make my first berry, that'll happen. Bent Creek Begin. I just love this. I still love this. You know, like some that you start and you lose the love for them, but then there's some that you start and then you still love them a lot. A journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. Yeah. And this fabric is that kind of lacy, see-through fabric. Like, boy, I could see all the leaves on the trees through this. And it is Belfast Linen Smoky Pearl. I feel like this would be a good week, maybe 2-week finish if I wanted to give it a good go. Now this one was my birthday start, and I totally forgot. I was trying to remember what was my birthday start, and then when I saw this I said, oh, that's the one. And so it may be that I don't start a new one on my birthday, but I keep working on this birthday start. And I saw this stitched up at the attic in Mesa, Arizona, and it was drop dead gorgeous. Drop dead gorgeous. And so I started it, and I have the alphabet done. And then that's all she wrote. Yeah. But I still very much love it. Are you still hanging in with me? You don't want to leave before the giveaways. This was a Halloween start, and so it's going to be a Halloween part 2. Continue the saga for this year. Because I don't think I will have this done. It was the 5-part mystery series by Tiny Modernist, Halloween Ouija. And I love it, and I still love it. I might have to take this out and just get going on it so I can put it up this Halloween. Because it's, you know, it's kind of one of those things when you get to the house takes so long that you kind of lose it. But yeah. I like the fabric it's on, although I don't know what it is. Heartstring Samplery. May all your dreams come true. One of the little card pillows. Oh, so cute. You know, it wouldn't take much. It wouldn't take much. And then I'd have that. Then I'd have that done. And then I could get another one going. This is another Heartstring Samplery. And this one I'm doing just like she has on the cover, but I saw one done where they chose all their own multicolored, and it might be an option in the pattern, but they had a sample at Acorns and Threads. Holy moly, it was gorgeous. What a time to be alive. I love the color of the fabric. Excuse me. Oh, I know you've been waiting. Some of you have been waiting for this one. This is my working copy. You know, my friend Lori and I fell in love with this when we were in Europe together. La Foresta di Fanis by Renato Parolin. So you can Google the Etsy shop for this pattern. And this is one of those ones that you just can't help but love it. But it's so, it's one color. And so you have to have inner strength to keep on going. That's just a bit over 2 pages, so I have just under 2 pages to go. Yeah, this is going to be long and cost a fortune to frame. Yeah. It's going to be gorgeous though. I am really looking forward to when this one gets done. I almost talked myself into just finishing it right where it's at. But you know, I would always know, oh, you gave up. You know, I don't know. Why can't we sometimes? I know that there's no problem. That sometimes we change our mind. But there's something about this chart that makes me want to keep on keeping on. This was G's birthday start. I really need to get this done. I know this chart is out of print and it was gifted to me. I need a working copy, and so this brings to mind how we keep track of our chart. On this particular one, I made a working copy of it, and so that I can highlight it with the yellow highlighter. That's as far as I've gotten, but I still love it, and I'm gonna get it done before his birthday. Yeah. Oh, I know what charts it was that the 911 stitcher. It's funny how your brain suddenly picks up on something you couldn't remember, huh? It was a blackbird design she was showing that was one of the little stockings, and it had a stork with the baby thing on it, because I thought, what a cute little gift to make for someone having a baby. And I have 2 cousins that have delivered a baby this week. Home for the Holidays. I just love this one. Blessings Be Thine. And this is where I am. Just a little start. And but I love this fabric, and I have it's Belfast linen, 32 count willow green. I love the color of it. The red thread just bazinga. Let's see, and then this project bag is not really, well, it's kind of like, it is a whip. It has the 2020 Christmas ornament magazine in it, and the dark shadows. And I did start one of the dark shadow ornaments And that's just a little bit that I've gotten started there. And I think it's, the problem for me is that it definitely needs to be stitched with a hoop or a Q-snap. This week's linen, not too fond of it, the feel of it, but I love this color, Peoria Purple. Oh my gosh, the color is just so perfect. But it's definitely hoop worthy. It's hoop worthy fabric. And that is it. That was the whips. All doable, don't you think? It's all doable. So it's hard to believe that we've rounded another year. Another year. And what will next year bring? Will it bring monogamous stitching, non-monogamous stitching, or just more polygamy stitching? Is there such a thing? I don't know. When you Google it, you do get monogamous stitchers topics. So that's something to think about. But I have so many, I already know which one I want to do next. I already know which one I want to do. And but I totally get how awesome it feels to get a chunk of stitching done to where you can, you know, I think that, you know, Cassie Jo Stitches, she finished the trees, and she's doing Pandemic now. And to me, she's like a you know, like those stitchers who are motivated. She's very motivating, very motivating. And so that's, I'm kind of dabbling in that world, although it's so not my personality. So we'll just see how it goes. You can wish me luck. And please tell me what it is you love about the way you stitch. Especially if you're a monogamous stitcher, what is the joy out of that? Is it the sheer satisfaction? You don't get bored? Are you not bored? Or is it that when you see the creation really, I mean, I could go on and on and on. But just leave a comment for me and let me know, because I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm dabbling a little bit in that world. So I'll have a list of the winners from the last Flosstube. And like I said, my email address will be in the description box. And then what about a giveaway for the anniversary? Now, I feel like, what is it? You know, it's kind of like anniversaries, like, you know, the 10-year anniversary is whatever. What is the, let me see. Let's see what it says. I'm just gonna, what does one let's see what it says. I think it's the 3rd year. Maybe not. Let's see what it says. 3rd anniversary gift is leather. That's not happening. But wallets are made out of, a lot of wallets are made out of leather. What about a 2nd year? I don't even know if it's a 2nd or the, let's see. We'll have to figure this out. 2nd year, you know, like your diamond 2nd year anniversary gift. Let's see. What do they say? What is this saying? I guess cotton. Cotton is the 2nd year anniversary gift. Well, I so appreciate all the company that I've had this last year, and it has been more important than anything else. It just seems like this last year has really clarified how you want to live, what you want to live like, and who you want to live around. And it's clarified that for so many people. But what I do know is that Acorns and Threads has been a life-saving place for my stitching life. I found joy there, I found friendship there, and I found dreams there. And so to celebrate this anniversary, I am going to give someone a $50 gift card to Acorns and Threads. So if you're interested in that gift card, please, in the comments, say happy anniversary. And also, I would love it if you would go over and subscribe to their channel. I know they don't have the consistency that some of us Flosstubers have, but oh, when they have a Flosstube up, it's awesome. It's awesome to see what's going on in the shop. So please subscribe to them on Instagram or on YouTube, and we'll pick a winner in the next, by the random generator, in the next Flosstube. In the meantime, stay tuned, look for your name for winning one of the charts from the last giveaway. And know that your company is greatly appreciated. And you guys all stay healthy, take care, and keep an open mind about monogamous stitching or non-monogamous stitching.